Okay, so in the video I posted yesterday, I was making these pieces for a client. Now I was using their silver and I noticed that their color is a little bit strange. So I decided that I should probably make some wire using their buttons so that I knew that the color matched and all of that stuff. So I thought I would show something that I do sometimes when I want to do this sort of thing. And I don't want to make a huge ingot or anything like that. So here, this is the leftover bone from yesterday, or the last casting. These two pieces were cast in here like that. Actually, I suppose it was like that. So those were in there like that. But I want to make reuse these broken pieces of Cuttlebone for one final thing that I can use them for. Now, I don't recommend this for everybody, but I'm going to put my button in just like I would normally. But I'm going to put it in off to the side like this. I'm going to, before I go any further, I'm going to put my elastic bands on it like I usually do. And in this case, because I'm going to use the rice again instead of my cross-locking tweezers, I'm going to tape the rubber bands. Now, the one thing I have to be careful on this is that I make sure, so I'm just putting a few layers of tape around there, stop the elastic bands from snapping. Make sure that I go straight down in this. So what this is going to be is, this is just going to be used as an ingot mold, as opposed to a standard cuttlefish. So I'm not gonna brush it, anything like that. All I want to do is make sure this is going to be my ingot mold form here. I'm going to push it in probably about that deep, and I'm just going to push it straight down. And I'm going to pull it out, double check my depth, looks pretty good. And I'm going to have less, but I'm only making a couple of, some 2mm wire for this. So I'm starting off with something close to 4mm, and I will roll that down. I'm checking it to make sure I didn't, hit that side at all. And since when I look in there, I can't see any black or burnt Cuttlebone, it should be fine. And I'm just going to set that up just like normal. And I'll turn my camera a little bit for you. So I'm just about up to temp. So what this is going to do is, this is going to allow me to use it as an ingot mold, as opposed to pouring it into my standard ingot mold, which would give me, a lot more material, a lot more rolling. This is just getting me closer. I don't have one of those smaller ingot molds with the wire molds on it. I only have a large one and a large flat one. So this is an alternative for those people who don't even have an ingot mold at all. I'm just checking my material. It's just about there. So I'm going to turn off my electromelt, bring my crucible into position, pour that in there. I'm going to dump the rest into the rice for now because I don't want it. And I don't need much, so I didn't really care. Didn't need vent lines. Again, normally grab it away from where you're pouring it. I'm going to let that cool down a little bit. Get some of that rice off of there. Now that this is just the little bit I poured in, the leftover, just so that I don't reach into my rice and get any. Take off my leftover tape. It's garbage. I might not have needed the tape at the bottom because my ingot mold didn't go that far down. But at the same time, I don't know, because I reuse my elastic bands, I don't know, how much structure they have. And sometimes they snap because they're old. Like that one just did. So both of these elastic bands have snapped, so they're no longer any good. There's my ingot mold. I didn't even get it straight in there, but it doesn't really matter. So here's my round ingot using her material so that I know that my color match is right. And I'll just cut this right here, give her the button back or scrap it or whatever, and then I'll roll this down to 2 millimeters and draw it out just like I would any other wire. Anyways, I just thought I would show that to you so you can use these leftover pieces of Cuttlebone for other things as well. Now I would say this Cuttlebone is pretty much done. I hope this was informative.